milestone, but we are still at the superficial level. We are not yet able to determine whether they have spent within the limits. We are only determining yet who complied with the requirement to file statement of
Why are we
expenditures.
so slow in this reform, and why can't we just jump the gun and find out? Information's not available. It's too difficult, or not enough lawyers. Why the reform is not fast enough to...
Well, there are two things there. First thing, I said this is where we are, and I call it only superficial because we are just determining who filed and who did not.
Yes.
The second one, which is at the deeper level, is this one who filed, did he really file correct statement of
Investigative pa yun.
expenditures? Yes. Did he really file? What receipts did he submit? Are these authentic receipts, or he manufactured them? And then, when we reach that point,
Madugo na yan.
and we investigate, we really get to the core of it, then that's it. We can say COMELEC has become competent.
What does that require to get into that second finger, that second stage?
It needs a lot of training. As
Equipment,
of now,
money, people?
I think people that are competent, that are trained. I have in mind...
Abogado, hindi. Statisticians?
I have in mind auditors, maybe CPAs, or maybe even us, the ones now, the incumbent employees, for as long as we are trained, how to determine whether this receipt is fake or genuine, whether or not this was really issued by this printer, or by this TV network, or by that
Hindi ba pwedeng
newspaper.
identify yan kasi naka-computerized na yung BIR and the receipts? Hindi pwede doon ma-identify?
Yeah, maybe. What to do, what to identify, what office to go to, whom to ask, this will be part of the training. As of now, we have never even thought about that.
Boy, you have
how to go about it.
But
the statements that are submitted to us are simply stuck.
put to one side.
Put aside.
Why? Because not enough people?
In an office, maybe not enough people, or maybe we just don't know what to do, or it's work, and we always try to avoid work for as long as we are employed.
Let's go to PPCRV. Kayo, brother, handang-handa na kayo. You have 42,000 or whatever all around. Oh, I forgot you said clustered precincts.
330,000.
You mean, are we going to go through that again? Because the last election, I got disenfranchised because of the concept of clustering. It was terrible to wait. Is that going to happen again Monday next week?
Oh, hopefully not, because now, ang ating presinto naman is yung barangay na bobotohan mo naman. So I don't think naman there will be a lot of complication when it comes to finding it, because you only go to the barangay where you're going to
I
go.
only went to one barangay.
But I just want to comment on Atty. Rafanan.
Please, go ahead.
Because he was saying, how do you go to the second finger? I believe that the key is values.
Second stage, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't have fingers. Go ahead, brother.
I think it's values. I believe that if people are really committed to the ideals of what suffrage really is, I guess we have to move our step forward. Ang problema kasi minsan, you try to change system, you try to change frameworks, but you don't change values. Then
But these are reforms that he's saying that following through, maganda yung chine-check natin kung totoo talaga yung sinasubmit. Alam mo naman tayo, magaling tayong magdoktor eh.
In fact, nga sabi nga ni Atty. Mga milestone. Today, ata, there's a photo exhibit today, I guess, that highlights the success we had in the May 10 elections. So,
Excuse me, when you say success with May 10 elections, I don't want you to put both of you down or Lente. But yes, the Philippine Computer Society is still after you. In fact, there's another court mandamos that's going to be pushed tomorrow. There are still people asking the COMELEC yung mga pag-gimmick on the automation. Not necessarily the COMELEC, but Smartmatic. There are a lot of questions because of the violations based on the AES law. There are still a lot of questions pending out there, but we're too busy. We're going on to another election. But then again, that will make for another show. But going to that,
yes, I guess, we have to document kasi, like, for example, we have to look at, sometimes, a grateful heart comes from looking at the things that we have done, we have already got, no? Sometimes, sometimes na kasi tayo, hindi na nakikita yung mga good things, eh. Sometimes nakikita natin puro bad things. Diba? The normal psychology is, you have a piece of paper, you see a black dot in the middle, you see only the black dot, but you don't see the full paper, the whole white piece of paper. And so in retrospect, if you try to weigh all of the gains we had in the past elections, sometimes, COMELEC naman, we should also congratulate COMELEC for doing some headway in its reform towards, our electoral process.
Pero nahihirapan din nga sila as much as even Attorney Rafanan himself. In many interviews with me here, he's always been promoting COMELEC reform. You've always been an advocate for performance reform, to improve itself, to counter, to re-audit and audit itself, kumbaga internal audit, as well as checking all, like for example, all the complaints and finding out if it's really true. I mean, it's very difficult. Just the presidential election, the last one, sabihin mo sa kanila, President Noynoy, although he is really seeming to be the popular president, I mean, 500 million ang ginastos. Come on, we saw on TV much more than that, assuming 330,000 per 30 seconds. Diba? The last 2-3 months. Come on, let's face it. And they were campaigning 1 year in advance when you're only allowed what, 90 days? Correct me if I'm wrong, no? I mean, ang daming election violations non-stop. Lente, how do you do that pag ganon? Can we go to Lente and say, hey, habulin nyo naman yun? Hindi nyo role yun.
Okay. Lente's role is to monitor and go after election violations. And we want them not just going after them and filing cases, but to see the case through final conviction.
But you need somebody to complain to you first. You can't just go and look for a violation.
That's how we trained other election monitors, even citizens, how to document evidence, gather evidence, and execute affidavits. Now, in the last elections, the one partnership that really worked, and in fairness to COMELEC also, was that we all realized that when it comes to candidates and politicians, one thing that's really important to them is there's nothing like a clean reputation. So once someone makes an accusation...
You mean candidates have clean reputations?
No, I mean,
gee, this is something new to me, but go ahead.
There's nothing like a clean reputation. Once someone goes forward and then reports, even by word of mouth, that you did this or that, or that, it creates this rumor that you went vote buying, I mean, sira ka na.
Sira ka na.
So, and then that person goes to Lente. Or worse, Lente goes to media about that report after verification.
So Lente works with media.
Well, definitely, and word of mouth. So we have civil society participation in collaboration with Lente in the last May 10 elections. Now, what's happening now in the barangay elections is that we have reports of COMELEC official violations, for example, selling the barangay, certificate of candidacy forms, etc., which you shouldn't be doing in the first place.
No, they're already downloaded.
Yes,
they
can be downloaded. It's free. So we have these small violations, or the small reports rather, but it is echoed all over the Philippines. It's the same complaint in so many areas. So there's also a need for not only just the COMELEC, but for civil society to help the COMELEC in raising awareness about all these things.
Kaya Attorney Rafanan, is the COMELEC happy having the PPCRV and the Lente behind you, with you, around you?
Yeah, we are happy. We are very grateful. You know,
may nakikialam. Proactive.
In connection with that, no. Lente is concerned about the voters list. Cleansing the voters list, PPCRV is concerned about it. Let me say this, no. The way I see it, I'm always frank.
Yes, you are. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's like a hide and seek. You know, we hide the voters list, they seek. Yeah, so I have to say it because I have been always working for cleansing the voters list. I've been always working for transparency, but I see that it is not transparent. What is my proposal for transparency of the voters list? What is my proposal for honest to goodness cleansing of the voters list? Post it in the internet.
Tama yun.
Let it be accessible to everybody who is interested. PPCRV gets a complete list. Lente gets a complete list. And they do anything they want in order to cleanse that list. Anybody, not even Lente, not even PPCRV, just anybody that who is interested. Then they will see, so this is precinct 1A. This is my precinct. The voters listed in this precinct 1A are supposed to be my neighbors. We are supposed to be living in the same barangay.
Makikita mo kaagad.
Most likely, I should know everybody. Then I go over this list. But I do not know these people. Where must they be living? They live in number 10 Bernardo Street. I know all the people
Why
there.
isn't it done?
Why don't I know these people? Then I go and investigate. Since it is just a very small place, it's just one precinct consisting of 200 voters at most, I can check them myself.
Makatulong.
Everybody can do that. if they have the voters list readily accessible.
Why aren't you giving the